Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome to another Astonishing Toybots review. And for this review, we're going to be taking a look at this badass in front of us. This character is called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito. It is an SH Figuarts line. It's a Premium Bandai exclusive, which means it's only exclusive online for the web store. And it was... I think you could pre-order this in 2019, which is when I pre-ordered it, and I think the release date was supposed to be in April, and then they ended up pushing back to September, so that's when I ended up getting this and the Zamasu. I wasn't able to review it at the time, but now I'm just getting to this. So for those that don't know about this character, it is a fusion character in the show. The fusion between two characters, one, Goku, which is pretty much the main character, and Vegeta, which is basically his best friend. Might as well be his best friend. They started off as rivals. Vegeta has a cocky attitude. Goku's just, he's lovable but a bit dumb, but a badass martial artist. So that is pretty cool. So for this one, we're going to take a look at the new SH Vegito. Cutting that always. That over there. But let's see if I can get this bad boy open. Alright, I always demonstrate for y'all. It did come with its little kind of like its energy sword effect that it does. He used this against Majin Buu in the Dragon Ball Z series, the Buu arc, and then also in Dragon Ball Super when it came back in the Trunks arc. All right, so again, I'm probably gonna drop some pieces, but that tends to happen. I don't know if y'all can see the accessories that come over there. Now in this case, let me hold this up over here. We do get quite a lot more accessories. So, was this figure worth purchasing? Let's get to it. Alright, so looking at this figure and kind of messing around with it a little bit, it is pretty much the same body mold as a Saiyan raised on Earth, Son Goku. As you can see here, I mean, it's got literally, I guess it's got the same pant sculpt. I mean, it's pretty much the same body mold except for the feet, obviously the gloves, but the same shirt. It's got the same gi, the same V-cut too, because Vegito's actually supposed to have a longer V-cut. So I don't know if they got lazy or they wanted to save some money, but they could have given us a different sculpt. So that's kind of disappointing, but it's not too bad. Let's take a look at this real quick. The neck does look like it sits up really, really high. And I've heard people encounter this problem before, and they have talked about it and say they don't like it. Like, actually, look, if you look up here, that is really sitting high on top of that neck. That should probably come down a little more. And I'm going to demonstrate this if I pull the head off and take Goku's head. I've seen some reviews do the same thing, but I'm going to show y'all just so y'all know what y'all are dealing with. See, if you put Goku's head on, it actually looks like it sits on there very well. I mean, if it's the same body mold, the same height, I mean, that looks perfect. But for some reason, and I'm going to show you right here too. Hold on. If we put on the Vegito head, see, it sits high, and that looks awkward. I mean, in a certain way, if you don't mind it, maybe if you angle it, it looks okay. But look at that neck is definitely too high. So, and the face does seem a little smaller. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I don't know why it is designed like that. Let me take Goku's head off real quick. I'm going to put this one back on so y'all can see. Hold on real quick. Okay. Uh-oh. I might have messed it up. Alright. Alright, here we go. Okay, that was a little tough. Don't do what I just did, because that is... you can probably break it. But look, if I compare the 1.0 version, I mean, his neck is perfectly fine on here. Like, it blends in very well. This is actually the same neck sculpt as pretty much the 1.0 version. But the way that it sits on his head, I think it sits on a little better than this. But yeah, this is different sculpts. If we want to look at the shading, this figure has... ooh, it's almost falling over here. This figure has pretty good shading. This is pretty much a re-release. The first one came with the Super Saiyan hair, but since it's the event exclusive one, they did a couple of repaints. They did go with, I think it's still a little bit of a metallic kind of paint job. And they did add some colors and all that for the, basically to kind of represent a little bit of that aura blue kind of thing tint. But this does not have any of that whatsoever. There's a little bit of shading, and it's very hard to kind of tell because it's kind of already a dark blue. But there's a little bit of shading on the legs, but there's literally no shading up here. Maybe a little bit. It's very hard to see. Maybe, or that could just be the glare. I have no idea, but there seems to be no shading up here. There's not even shading around on the orange shirt. It is a different paint. I don't know what kind of paint that is. Very kind of, I don't know. It feels like it'll chip away. There is no detail or any shading on the arms, so that kind of sucks. I can't even tell if there is on the gloves. It's got a little bit of a tint, but I don't know if that's shading or not. In fact, the hands over here are much more wider than that, so that's not consistent. The face seems okay besides that neck area. Look, if you can kind of see that, I'm not gonna lie, that does kind of look ugly. That does kind of look ugly. And two, mine has a little bit of some chip there under the face. The hair doesn't bother me. I like the hair. I would like for them to go kind of like with, I guess like a kind of flat matte finish, kind of like Vegeta. It is a little bit kind of like that. But this one is metallic. I don't have a problem. I think it looks cool. I like the way they sculpt the designs on the hair, so I think it's fine. The feet, nothing on the feet, no shading or anything. And the foot right here is actually shiny. The paint is much more shinier. So the paint job on this is not, it's really not very good. Even if we look at the back part, maybe a little bit. I can't really tell if there is shading on the belt. I guess a little bit up here. Maybe that might be some shading. I have no idea. It's kind of hard to see from the eyes. But the paint job is not very good at all. They actually didn't add any detail, so that's kind of unfortunate if you care about that sort of thing with these figures. But this one does not have any of that, and also does not stand well too. If we look at the feet part area, I've had trouble with the Vegeta, same engineering as the feet, and this makes the character hard to stand. Like, really hard to stand. Like, you really gotta put in a certain way to kind of keep them there. And a lot of people have had problems with that. I don't know if Tamashii is gonna fix their product line with their feet, or if they're gonna continue dishing out the same. So far, they've continued dishing out the same feet, so they're probably not gonna change anything on that. Oop, and his face fell, because I didn't put that on right. Actually, I never even took it off. That thing just fell, besides I guess the main freaking head. So let's go with the articulation. It's gonna be the same thing, but I'm still gonna demonstrate it for y'all. It's literally the same design, but for the purposes of it is a review, so I have to review it. The leg does go up 90 degrees, bends past 90 degrees. That's kind of the sculpt that they have over here. A lot of people don't like that because they don't like, actually, I can't speak for everybody, but I know some of the reviews that I've said don't really like this. They think that joint is showing too much. They would like to have that covered. That doesn't really bother me at all. I'm not very picky, like I said, on these figures. But it does, you know, that's actually some good articulation. It goes past 90. The feet over here, same thing that we're dealing with. It's got this joint over here, this little ball peg. And that tends to be hard for the figures to stand with that. And if we look at the feet, same thing. They got the toes that bend, ballerina feet. Same thing with this one, toes that bend. It's got the same swivel kind of thing. You can't really get any good range of motion besides just, oh look, see that came out. Besides just maybe twisting it around, side to side maybe, but it's not too much. The hips or the thighs, it's got some thigh swivel over here, thigh swivel over there. Can kick out not quite as 90 degrees. It can't quite do the split. It is limited there, but it's limited with all of them. But that's pretty good if you want to kind of stretch them and get them in a kind of like a Kamehameha stance or something, like I said for the other figures. you can. If we go up here, they've always had this same joint. It's kind of ugly when you, I guess, kind of try and pose them, because it does show some white over here, some skin. So I would like for them to mold something, maybe engineer it a little better where we don't see these joints. But unfortunately, that's what we're kind of dealing with over here. It's very noticeable, so I understand if it's going to look ugly. Again, for me, it's not too much of a bothersome. His arm can rotate, can go up and down. Not quite all the way. You got to kind of... So if you have it like this, you got to kind of pop it out to bring his arm out all the way. But it doesn't even really go up unless you switch it up like that. And even so, just by the design, doesn't really look too pretty. But it does have bicep swivel, so, you know, they always doing that right, I guess. It's got the double jointed elbows. You just gotta pick that up, and that's basically as far as you get with that. Same thing on this side, up and down. That's as far as it goes up. Bicep swivel. It's got the same double joint right here for the elbows, and the same kind of movement for the hands. You already saw the neck part. It does go up that far, which does look ugly. I do not like the way they designed that. He can barely look down. This neck part that they sculpt here doesn't even really give it any good leeway, I guess, for it to look down. I mean, that's as far as it looks down. That's about it. And his face keeps coming off too, so you got to be careful with that. If we go to the back part, not too much here. I mean, you got some articulation on his ass over here. I do like the way they engineered this, because it is kind of cool. It kind of blends in together. At least you can kind of still see the ass part a little bit. They're trying on that. But yeah, for the most part, that's pretty much it. The hair is fine. I do like the paint job on the earrings. The face sculpts are fine. It's just that he's sitting really high on that neck. And the articulation is going to be... It's good articulation, but it's just going to be as limited as pretty much every Goku figure. That's pretty much what we got. Alright, so for the accessories, we got ourselves his energy blade, and this is kind of where I guess most of his energy is coming out of his hands. Be careful with putting this together. It was kind of difficult, especially these spikes. They will hurt you. Including this. These things do have pegs over here. And they do have this little kind of mini peg that sticks out, and you kind of have to align it in this hole the right way. Just like... Oh, I didn't even get it right. Look at me messing up already. There it is. All right. So that's how you want to get it. So that's why you got the manual over here to look, just in case. But I'm going to do this by eye. Yeah, we got the 3 exchangeable faceplates. One where he's showing his teeth. The other where he's yelling and looking off to the side. And this one he's just yelling, looking straight, like he just unleashed his Big Bang Kamehameha. Oh, Jesus. And then we got his energy powering ball over here with kind of like the lightning effect. This is something new. I don't think we've ever had this. At least, I mean, I've been collecting SH Figuarts, so I hadn't seen something like this. So this is new. This is pretty cool. And it does have a little peg here, and I'm going to get to that, why that is there. That's obviously for his hand, but if you're looking at these 3 hands and wondering what the hell is going on over here, well, these are the 2 regular, I guess, gripping hands for when he's fixing to charge his energy blast. And this extra one is basically the hole. That's for this little charging thing to go in. You have to be careful though when putting it in, because it's a it's a rough one, I'll tell you. But yeah, we got it. There it is. We got his 2 palm hands over here. We got his one, I guess, what is it when you go in instant transmission? This one is just, I guess, a gripping hand. If you want to grab something, somebody, or grab a carrot, I don't know. We got this other one because Vegito is cocky, so he's always doing that whole like get over here, like from Neo in the Matrix when he tells the Agent Smith, and he's just like, yo. And then of course you have his hand, which is used for this part right here, so that's for his energy blade. And you can hook this part over here again if you line it up right. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I think I'm doing it right. Oh Jesus, I could be doing it wrong. It's that way. I don't know why that's not going in the right way. There it is. All right, there you go. So you can put that on Vegito, and yeah. And then this little piece over here is actually for Zamasu. If you have the Zamasu figure, you can clip this onto his back, and then you can add the tip of this blade to it. And so it's supposed to look like he's basically stabbing Zamasu. So if you want to, you can try that out if you do have that figure. And that's it for the accessories. So let's try and switch out some of the hands. This is his left hand, his left fist. So let's try to use this one. And this one actually goes on pretty easy compared to the other figures. But that's basically his come here hand. I got some more for you. Yeah. His pimp hand or that slap hand. Don't make me slap you. Pah. All right, so you have the open palm hand like that. Let's go ahead and see which one is his. Yeah. Okay, so here is. And let me put the fist back on real quick. Yeah, so I can show y'all. I'm gonna demonstrate it a little bit. All right. So he has this hand. This hand is to put the blade on. This is a thick blade too. I don't even know how this figure is supposed to carry this. Can it carry it? I didn't see any stance with this. Dang, I'm not too sure if this dude can even carry this figure. I mean, can even carry this blade. Look how big that blade is. That is a really huge blade that does not sit up at all. You basically need a stance. You need something that's gonna hold that up. And this version, well, this version doesn't have that big of a blade, so it holds up perfectly fine. But look at this one. It's a big ass blade. I guess. All right, so that's pretty cool. I think you can shorten it out. There might be a way to shorten it. Let me see. Maybe there's a way. I doubt it. Actually, no, because the pieces are formed small. Yeah, there is no way. So that's what we got. So we got his energy attack hand. I believe that goes on right here through that little hole. I guess. It doesn't even. Ooh, that's a tough fit. That is a tough fit. Okay. Okay, we got it. We got it through. All right, now his other hand. There we go. Squeeze that in there. Be a little gentle. There you go. All right, and look, he's got his charging energy blast. Now that makes the character, the figure itself, stand out on the shelf. If you hide this and you articulate it decent enough, boom. Ooh. Oh man, hold on. Let me fix that up. See, the legs are already giving me a hard problem. This is probably gonna deduct some points there. I'm sorry. You gotta give me some good legs. All right, but other than that, that actually raises the figure up a little bit as far as quality, just having that. So that is very good. I do like that. Okay, so for the faces, ooh, these bangs are connected to the forehead over here. I don't know why these come off. Well, I guess this one doesn't have one. Okay, so this is his yelling face. This one does not come with the bangs. This one does though. This one comes with the bangs. I don't know why. Or I don't know why they kind of chose to do the engineering like that. All right, so let's throw on his mean face. Again, these are pretty simple. Just follow where the peg hole is supposed to go. Just put that right through there. It's a little stiff actually, to be honest. And that hair is spiky, so careful. That shit's hard. That shit will hurt your fingers. And here it is, bangs. All right, put that in there. All right, so you have his mean, angry face. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just exchangeable face plates. This one already has the bang, so I'm just go ahead and put that one in there so you can kind of see it. That face kind of looks more suitable, kind of evens out the neck a little bit. Doesn't make it look too long. But yeah, you have that. Let's take that off. Let's put this one. I guess this is another yelling face he has. He's got a lot of yelling faces over here. That's not too bad. I actually don't mind if they put a lot more face swaps. That could be pretty cool. Just a little something. And put the little bang up here. Yeah, all right. So that's pretty much the faceplates, and that's all we get, and the exchangeable hands. All right, so my final thoughts on this figure. I do think it's an okay release. There's a couple of things wrong with this figure that does bring it down that I was disappointed at. One of those being, it is a reuse of Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku body mold that they pretty much do with every Goku release that they have. There's not enough shading or any detail on the chest area, pretty much actually really on the whole character. The arms and the neck area, they're just lacking shading, lacking detail to really make this figure pop. Maybe there's a little bit of shading somewhere around the leg areas. It is kind of a darker blue. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, the shading on that does bring it down. The engineering part where the neck is really loose, which is kind of weird because on most all these other releases of these figures, the neck is actually really stiff, but on this one it's really loose and it actually exposes a lot of gaps around it. The head sits too high on the neck, so it makes it look weird and awkward. And right where the shoulder areas for the gi, the joints are exposed when you're trying to pose this character. And you can see the joints on the inside as right here, as you can see there, and it does make the figure look, you know, a little ugly. And to the feet area, they have not progressed on the feet area. That one ball peg to hold the entire figure for the feet, it just, I don't know, it doesn't work all the time. The figure constantly flops down. You really got to try and pose it in a good way or get it right to make this figure stand. But yeah, overall, if I got to give it a grade, I'd say a 7 out of 10 for the figure. It's nothing too crazy. Maybe the hair sculpt is really nice, but yeah, the idea that it's not a different sculpt does bring it down. But the package itself, for the whole figure, the package accessories, I do give it an 8 out of 10. The accessories do help this figure. It makes it stand out more. It does look dope. It's something that we haven't gotten before with the little lightning effects going around the ball. And two, the energy blade that he has is pretty dope. So the extra accessories as far as exchangeable fates and hands, those are already a given. That should already be included. But just, you know, a little extra accessories, a couple of effects to bring to make the figure stand out always helps. And so they did do good with this one. But other than that, it is an okay release. I still like it. I'm still gonna put it on the shelf. If I had, to be honest, I do like the old mold better. I think it still holds up. It still looks good. Not all the figures with the same old mold, the 1.0 version. Not all of them not all of them are up to par in quality. But this one is really good. And so this Vegito, obviously, Dragon Ball Z fan, I'm still impressed. I still like the way it looks, so I'm keeping it. But yeah, so if you like this video, go ahead, subscribe, throw a like. If you didn't like it, you thought I was an amateur at this, you thought I don't know shit, that's fair enough. I'm learning, so throw a dislike. But yeah, go ahead and throw a comment if you got any questions, want to know more, if you want to inform me about some shit, go ahead and do that. But yeah, you can follow me on TikTok at atoybots. You can follow me on Instagram at atoybots. You can follow me on Facebook at Astonishing Toybots, or just Astonishing Toybots, really. I don't know why I said at. And so yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I got another SH Figuart that I'm going to review. So if you like this, click that notification and stay tuned for the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace.